I can't tell the story is hilarious or heartbreaking. I think you'll decide. There's a pastor in Colorado that scammed his congregation out of $3.2 million. No, it's a heartwarming story. It was all for crypto. He made a coin. And he passed it off to his congregation, saying that the Lord wanted to bless them. And then they invested. And then he's now been caught and is being charged with fraud. And he pocketed 1.3 million of the 3.2 million. And so he came out and he made a video. And in the apology video, he is very honest. He's like, listen, the Lord spoke to my wife and I and said to, make this coin and everything. And I even said to God, I like how he acts like God is a guy, just like, and that he's a guy that he can't get on the phone right now, but was talking wild a couple weeks ago. And so it's like, and then look, I was even asking God, because I'm not even omniscient like God is. I'm not over here like God. And I even asked God, I was like, where's the liquidity going to come from? And honestly, if your pastor ever says liquidity to you, that should be the first sign to run. Run as fast as you can, as far away as possible. And so he's like, I even asked God, where's the liquidity going to come from? And God said, trust me. And so then I immediately told you it would be fine. That's my bad. I want you to know, out of that 1.3 million that my wife and I pocketed, 500,000 went to the IRS, which is a meaningless detail, by the way. Like, yes, you paid your taxes, but that's just a weird thing that the pastor did to be like, hey, look, while we're being honest, I got fucked too, okay? IRS really get everybody, don't they? It's like, as much as we hate the IRS, you're not going to flip this around on them right now. And then he got caught, and he's like, yes, we did spend it on some trips and a home renovation that the Lord told us to do. I'm starting to think that Lord is just some guy's last name to him. Just a Marcus Lord that does a lot of cocaine. It's like, I got a new coin. You should tell your peeps, you should get them in on it. Because I've read a good portion of the Bible. And I don't know. No, like, I'm not saying I'm smarter than everyone that was in the congregation. I'm expressly not saying that. Like, but it is a thing where it's like, if you read the Bible, what he's saying will be weird. You know what I mean? Like, if you read the Bible and you have a general understanding of it, when a guy comes to you and he's like, listen, the Lord about them gains, okay? I think it makes it easier for you to be like, oh, I think this guy is full of shit. Thank you. But that's a scary thing, though, is that, like, there's a blurred line now, blurred almost to the point of being indistinguishable between, like, pastors and influencers. You know what I mean? Like a pastor used to be, at least where I come from, a pastor used to at least be poor. You know what I mean? When a pastor is poor, they're very easy to believe. Because you see how poor they are, and they're like, oh, you really about that life. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like a poor pastor is like it's like a gang member that has been shot a few times, where you can see the lumps. And you're like, oh, you're really dangerous. Okay. A pastor that's poor makes a more convincing argument. Because even when you try to check their work, you're like, if nothing else, even if they are absolutely out of their mind, they at least believe this because they're willing to dedicate their whole life to, and to it exactly, to it only, right? To whatever mission they feel like God has led them to. They're willing to focus solely on that to the point of being completely removed from the world, right? So any worldly thing doesn't affect them. They have no interest in it. They're only focused on whatever the thing is. Maybe it's helping people. Maybe it's spreading the word. Maybe it's knocking on doors at 6 a.m. or whatever they feel led to do. And then a rich pastor tells, like a rich pastor has a more alluring argument. Because a rich pastor rolls up in a Rolls Royce in a $10,000 suit with a $200,000 watch and a pinky ring. Like, the amount of pastors dressing like pimps needs to be talked about. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's too many wires crossing with, like, I'll see a pastor dressed fully like Don Bishop Juan, and I'll be like, oh, yes, you are pimping your congregation. Yes, I get it. Wow. And in their faces too, you're brazen with it because you dress rich in front of them and they're poor to make you rich. And wow, that is ballsy. Maybe you do have God's protection. That's crazy that you're going to do that in their face. And then you tell them what you buy. If you see these televangelists, they tell the people what they bought with the money that they said was going to missions and to... Because when the plate is getting passed around, it's so that we can help the poor and that we can spread the word and that we can, sort of build up the church to have things for you as a community. One of the only reasons to have church is for a community. It doesn't even have to be fully like-minded people. It can just be people that you feel like safe and in communion with. And so, yes, sometimes everybody pulls their money together and then they're like, what would be great is a rec center for the kids. And then a church will put all their money into building a building that could be a rec center for the kids so that they don't get in trouble. There are lots of things and ways that churches spend money that I do think are good. And so when I see like a mega church's facilities, I'm not immediately skeptical. It's when I see the person and he's dressed so much like a pimp. Like, I cannot stress this enough. It is full pimp outfit. Like, it's to the point of tacky. Like, we're not even talking about just because he has a suit. I'm talking about he has like, they are all stopping short of a cane. Like, they're millionaires in your face, and they're telling you, I have all this stuff because, because God blessed me with this jet. I purchased this jet for the Lord so that I could fly from place to place quicker, spreading the message. And I would even believe that if we didn't have Zoom. If Zoom was not a thing, I would get a pastor being like, I have to get over there to spread the word as quickly as possible. They don't know. They have no idea. And it's not like we can send them a telegram or something. It's not like there's been iterations of communication for decades that would negate me buying a jet to fly it to, I'm not going to tell you where. Like, how did we get here? And look, it is probably, it's probably an easy thing to have happen. It is. It's probably, I think that I'm trying to be gracious for a second. I really am. I'm trying to extend an olive branch for a second and just, no, just hear me out. I do think that there's something that speaks to these pastors, but I think what has happened is that they have mistaken God for their intrusive thoughts. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't know all of you. I don't know, exactly what your lives are like. I don't know if you grew up with religious or not, or what religion or anything. I'm just saying, as individuals, every single one of us here, if we were to lead a congregation and we were to pass around a jar or a plate, collection plate, anything like that, and everybody gave something because we made a compelling case that it is your job as a citizen of the world to help people that you may never meet, right? Is your actual duty as a living, breathing, empathetic individual that you have to do something if someone somewhere is hurting. You don't need to know them, and you don't need to know why they got there. That's none of your business. It's important to help someone. And then the plate gets passed around, and you make such a compelling argument that everybody puts, $1, $5, $10, or like the Bible says, 1/10 of their income to help the poor. And then church is over. Everybody leaves. And then you go to the back office where they have piled up all the money, and you do look at it and go, nigga, we rich. I mean, wow. Oh, we really cooking right now. Oh, man, I'd get the pinky with the soup. Oh. I'm not going to get the cane. That's too much, but oh. Just looking at a pile of money, a pile of envelopes with 1/10 of someone's paycheck in order for them to either spread the word of God or help people that they will never meet, build a well, do something so it matters that we were here, right? And then you see the money and it's stacked pretty high because it's a big church. And you look at all that money and it's hard not to be like, game time? That's a tough thing. A friend said to me today, because I was telling him about the story, and he said to me that if churches did what they were supposed to do, we might not have much homelessness. You know what I mean? Like if churches were really about it, in a compelling way, in a way that was genuinely uncomfortable. In a way that was like, I'm going to tell you a story, and you're going to judge me, but it's fine. I was at a theater when I first moved to Chicago. And when I first moved to Chicago, I didn't have any money, right? And I especially did not have much to spare. But I was at a show, and I was at that show because it was free. So it was a free midnight show that I loved so much. I made sure to go there every Thursday night because I knew it was a free show. I could do something. I could meet other comics. I could, learn by watching them and everything, because everyone on the show was incredibly funny. It's actually a sketch show, ironically enough. And there was a person that came in, and she came in and she clearly had nothing, right? Her clothes were torn and everything. Her hair was a little messed up, and she had a little bit of a limp. And she was asking people for change. And you got to remember, this is like a kind of swanky place. Like it has a little bit of that underground grunge feel to it, but it's also like a nice place with a nice bar and everything. And so everybody was like, no, 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 no. And everyone was varying degrees of like just ignoring, politely saying no, being aggressive, get out of here sort of thing. And then someone came and they asked her to leave, right? And so I see all that happen. I'm sort of sitting in the back towards where the showroom is. And then this was all happening towards the front. She didn't get far in. I watch the show. And I'll be honest, I didn't really think about her while I was watching the show. I was thinking about what an incredible show this was, how thankful I was that it was free and everything. And then the show lets out. And I guess because a couple hours had passed, she gave it another try. So she came in, she was asking people for change. And once again, it was varying degrees of not looking at her, asking her to leave them alone and everything, politely saying no. And so then I had about $3 in my pocket. And so I saw her the second time, and I felt so bad about how the first time went and that I didn't do anything, that I went ahead and I gave her the $3. And when I gave her the $3, she took it and she looked at me and she said, "Oh, thank you so much." And then she jumped and hugged me tight. And what should have been a sweet moment was mainly just me being like, "Oh my God, oh 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 my God, oh, 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 oh." And then she walked off, happy as could be, walked out of the venue. And then I was like, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands. And I think that, you know, I look back at that and I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of how I reacted or anything. But that does feel like what church should feel like. Like, instead of just being boring, it should be like, oh my God, man. Oh wow, everybody really is welcome. Oh, jeez. All right, cool.
This is a beautiful, beautiful time of year. This is my favorite time of year because it's so fresh. I could do anything. I could really be anybody so far, you know? And by January 10th, I'm like, I'm me. Never mind. I had a lot of plans, but a week and a half. It's so early in the year, it's almost weird if you've already had a bad day. You know what I mean? But this is New York, so you know somebody has. I was on a bus on January 2nd and just heard a guy go, "Fuck!" just to himself. I don't know what was going on in his life, but January 2nd, he was like, "It's over. That's a wrap." Oh, it's crazy. I also love this time of year because it's the last little bit of runoff where you're still trying to return Christmas presents. Like the bad ones. Like you on the phone with customer service, like, "No, I have the receipt, please." Like it's. And this is the thing: a lot of people give gifts and everything, but they don't know if they gave a good gift to the person, especially if they don't know them well, right? And my thing is, this is how you tell if it's a good gift in this present day we live in. If you didn't get a gift for someone from a store that was looted in 2020. That's not a good gift. I'm not gonna lie. Do you know what I mean? It's a very easy metric now. Because, look, I'm just saying, everything's free when we looting. And there are brands that know that they didn't get touched. Like, honestly, if I was a shop owner, I would be embarrassed if I showed up the morning after a riot and I get to my store, Nike store ransacked. Louis Vuitton store unrecognizable, and then my store pristine, not even broken glass. I'd be like, I gotta hang it up. I didn't know it would be like this. Can I burn it down and say it was part of the riot? Cause this is a shame. I remember that was a very specific time. This is my favorite thing about any riot that happened in the U.S. in 2020. There were some stores that boarded up that really didn't need to bother. Like. Nobody talks about that, but there are a couple places that were like, "Oh, we gotta batten down the hatches." Like, no, you really don't. I promise. Nobody is checking for you, okay? There were brands that were feeling themselves. Like, I don't know if you remember this, but you can look this up. This is a real thing that happened in 2020 during the protests. There were Sweet Greens that boarded up in preparation. Sweet Green. I want to meet the person who made the decision. I want to meet the person who was like, "All right, it might get crazy out here in Seattle." And you know it when it gets crazy. You know what niggas love is arugula. So We got to hold it down, all right? Got to protect the inventory, okay? Oh, no, you don't need to bother. You know, I said all that to say if you got me a Christmas present this year, a gift card from Sweet Green, you fucked up. That wasn't the move. You bought me grass. Oh. Have y'all been watching that Squid game show? Okay, if you haven't watched it, then genuinely, I'm begging you, don't watch it. Okay, if you don't know what Squid Game is as a show, Squid Game, the show is a Korean drama, all right? It's probably one of the best TV shows that we have that fully encapsulates the idea of capitalism and what we do to each other when we're lacking, when we have need, and when there's literal money floating over our heads, the links that will go, right? And even the show becoming a show is a Cinderella story because the guy that wrote it, he pitched it around the world for 10 years and nobody wanted it. Finally, Netflix bought it. They put it up on their platform. It became an international sensation. There's games, there's toys, there's everything. And then they made the game show, which is weird. That's pretty odd, because that means they also watched the show and they saw what a commentary was on the human psyche when it comes to money, when it comes to access and everything. And then they were like, yeah. We should do that. Yes, we should do that. Let's round up these pores and make them battle it out. We'll get 400 of the saddest stories you've ever heard in your fucking life. It's insane. And this is the other reason that I'm begging you not to watch it, okay? In the show Squid Game, the Korean drama, when you lose, you die. In the game show, when you lose, a pack goes off. It explodes on you, and it's black. It's not red. It's ink. Squid Game, very clever. And it explodes, but they still make the people fall like they died. And it feels like they test running killing a person in front of us. Do you know what I mean? Because when I was watching the show, the first person lost and then they fell. And I was like, that's a little dramatic. All right. And then 12 more people fell. And I was like, wait, are they really killing people on my TV right now? Because if they are, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Because they already shot the show and I'm at home. But can we make sure that for season 2, they don't kill anybody? Because I'm going to finish the show. It's compelling. But it's just a weird thing. I don't know. It's very unsettling because they make all these people tell the saddest parts of their life and they cut to them in the show and you know they're not going to win. Why are you telling me this is a physical American Idol? Why are you telling me the sad story and you know they're not going to get far? That's terrible. It would be a dude with the biggest tearjerker you could ever imagine. He's like, I'm just want to bring money back home for my cousin. He's got cancer herpes and he doesn't have a real house. He got half a house, so I want to pay for him to finish his house because he get rained on anytime it rains sideways a little bit, and so I just want to have a full roof for him to be under, not half a roof, because he really got like half an umbrella over his head right now, and so I just want to do something nice for him because he donated a bunch of his bones to orphans, and so he already didn't have a good life to begin with. And then they zoom out of the person playing the game and you see he's the shortest man that's ever lived. You're like, he's not gonna get far at all. Physical limitations alone. Why are you getting me attached to his story? Or even worse, they'll interview like a smart woman and you'll be like, they not gonna let her get far at all. She gonna slip up and say a big word in front of him and the dumbs are gonna jump on her. She gonna say one of those encyclopedia words that be like, get her out. She look like she can do puzzles. No, so jarring. Are y'all also following this Gypsy Rose thing? Okay. In case you don't know anything about Gypsy Rose, I'll try to bring you up to speed as quickly as possible. Gypsy Rose is a young woman, used to be girl. She was a girl when all this happened. Her mom has Munchausen by proxy, so her mom convinced her she was sick, convinced everyone else she was sick, told people she was sick, raised money for her because she was so sick. So she was like GoFundMe before GoFundMe, right? And so she was like raising all this money and everything. Then Gypsy realizes, hey, I'm not as sick as you're making me out to be. Around the same time that this happens, right? She makes a friend online. They start dating. That becomes her boyfriend, okay? And then she tells her boyfriend, you need to kill my mom so we can be together. I was not in the room when this conversation happened. But the way that I think it went was Gypsy gets close to this person and is like, you're going to have to kill my mom so we can be together. And then he said, I was planning on killing somebody anyway. Because it took so little convincing. This man is clearly out of his mind, right? Killing a mom should be several conversations. You should have to wear me down to kill your mom. If you tell someone, I need you to kill my mom so we can be together, and they go, yup, you are also in danger. That is absolute insanity. He said yes so quick. That's the reddest flag there is. He said it so quick. Once again, I was not in the room, but he agreed to it so fast, I'm pretty sure he finished her sentence. I'm pretty sure she was like, hey, I need you to. He's like, kill your mama, I got it. And she was like, I was gonna say pass the remote, but okay. And so then that's what happens. They meet up, and then he kills the mom, and then they get caught immediately. They get caught so fast. I was genuinely disappointed in them. I was like, you couldn't make it a day. You got caught. They got caught so insanely quickly. And so then they're not together anymore because then they flipped on each other and everything. And it's hard to stay together when you first 48'd each other. Like, where you just immediately like, it was his crazy ass. I said it at once and he did it. And so then Gypsy got way less time than him, and she got out. She's out now. She got like 7 years. He got life because I'm pretty sure she only had to remind him once. I'm pretty sure she only had to be like, hey, that thing about killing your mama, yeah, it's on my calendar. All right. And look, I'm just saying, the main thing that they did wrong, besides killing a person, the main thing that they did wrong is that they didn't really understand the internet the way we don't really understand the internet. So all they did was have the most incriminating conversations online, right? I'm pretty sure they Skyped at one point. I was like, can you stop doing recordable stuff? And so then she gets out, and I saw like a TikTok of her, wishing everybody well, thanking everyone for wishing her well and everything, saying Happy New Year's. And then she said something interesting to me. She was like, I'm spending New Year's with my dad, my stepmom, and my husband. And I was like, husband? And I was just shocked. I didn't know she had a husband. So I looked into it, and she had met somebody, and they got married in 2022. And I looked him up. Have y'all seen the husband? Yeah. Y'all seen? Okay. That man looks more like the Kevin James meme than Kevin James. I was genuinely blown away. There's a picture of him with Gypsy Rose where he's like, and it's not even a diss. That's just his swag, is that like cheeky, everything. And then apparently some people were coming for him online for some weird reason. I have no idea. And then Gypsy came to his defense, and she was like, it's okay, baby. They're just jealous because the D is fire. You know what? I'm glad you had a happy ending. I'm glad you're okay. I've only been in Grand Rapids for I guess you could say a day and a half, and I get it. I do get it. Like, I understand. Y'all can stop now. I understand. You don't have to be nice to me anymore. Y'all come in aggressive. Y'all are like truly like an opposite New York. Y'all come in real hot with how nice you are. Like, it's in a way that's like, look, it's functional. Y'all clearly have a society here. It is good. But is it not exhausting to just be trying to help? My shoe was untied. Okay, I was walking and my shoe was untied. I was getting to the light as I was walking, and a guy was like, "Oh, your shoe is untied." But he pointed so low that I couldn't tell if he thought I didn't know where my shoe was or if he was about to tie it for me. Because my man, he's like, "Your shoe is untied." I was like, "Oh."
Because I feel like I'm nice. I feel like I'm a generally nice person, so I don't really get why y'all trying to outdo me at every time. I'm like one of the nicest people in New York, and then I come here and I'm like, yeah, y'all win. This is genuinely a lot. I appreciate it though. It's nice to get a break. It's nice to get a break from like eye contact leading to a fight. One time I was on the bus. A lot of my stories that are in New York start on the train or bus because my life is not going as well as I'd like. Very few things I tell you about will be in a car. I was on the bus and I was just sitting there and I think I was on my phone or something. And I just casually looked up. I don't even know why I looked up. There was no noise, there was no anything, but I just casually looked up and there was one dude across from me already looking at me. So I look up and our eyes meet. And he goes, "What'd you say?" I'm like, there's no way. There's no way you thought I said anything. It's just a lot, you know. Like, I've been there for years now. I've been here for, day and a half. And it just, okay. Like, y'all won't even let somebody be lost. That's too helpful. You gotta let people make their own mistakes. Because admittedly, I was lost. But I wasn't lost in like a cartoonish way. I wasn't lost like a 20 silent film. You know what I mean? I wasn't like... I just looked down at my phone and looked up and looked down at my phone. And when I looked up again, there was just a guy there. And he wasn't just there. He was like, "Can I help you?" And I was like, does this dude work at Grand Rapids? It felt like y'all just hire a bunch of Walmart greeters to be outside. Because it's just unsettling, And so I'm clearly lost, If I'm lost from this far away, then I just admit it, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm trying to get over here. And he's like, oh, it's right around the corner. I'll show you. And then he walked with me. To which I was like, does he need to go there too? What's the plan here? Then we get there, it's across the street, and he points to it. And when he pointed to it, I looked over, and I was like, oh yeah, well thanks man, thanks so much. And I turned around and he was gone. And that's honestly the most upsetting part of the story. Because now I'm like, did I imagine him? Because I don't know, I've lived in New York for years now. And I love living in New York, but I think this is going to sound like an ironic thing to say, but I think I love living in New York because I'm not infatuated with the idea of New York, right? New York has a long, beautiful history. There's a place where there's a lot of opportunity and everything, but it's also going to be a little dirty. There's a lot of crime. There's a lot of people. You're going to get pushed around a lot as people go about their... It's just a place on earth, I'm not so excited to be there. Because some people are. You've seen some people move to a place like New York and they're like, oh my God, it's happening. I'm in New York City. And you're like, chill that, all right? You gonna get robbed. They're like, but we're in Times Square. It's all happening. It's like, they gonna get both of us. Because you over here acting brand new, all right? I almost got robbed. My first month living in New York, I almost got robbed. I was walking home after work, and I had not had a good day, you know? And this guy walked up and just punched me in the nose. It turns out that's all it takes. I'm not much of a fighter. If you punch me in the nose, I will sit down. It's almost immediate. It's a reflex, really, because this man punched me in the nose and I sat down on a fence immediately. And I don't know if I said out loud or I just thought in my head, but when he punched me, I was like, I need a minute. And it didn't help that when he punched me in the nose, I grabbed my nose like the daintiest way possible. Like, all fingers were out. This is the most Victorian way to try to stop a nosebleed. This is devastating. I didn't even know this is what I do in that situation. I was just sort of put there, and then this is how I reacted. You know what I mean? So I'm over here clenching my nose as hard as I can. Like, I wonder what it was like from his perspective. Like, if he punched me in the nose and then immediately saw me grab it like this, it was like, did he already have a nosebleed coming? Like, how did he... But this dude punched me in the nose. I sat down, and out of nowhere, this dude, huge dude, ran up and pushed this dude out of the way. And he pushed him so hard, he pushed him down, right? And so he slammed to the ground. He looked up. He saw that big dude. He must have thought we were friends. And so he took off. But I'm sitting there wondering if I look like such an easy target that somebody saw me getting robbed and was like, I could do better. Yeah. And it's funny because I was not having a good day at all. I was new to New York. I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't have a good day at work. I didn't like the place that I was staying. And I feel like a pretty positive person, but everything was happening all at once to make me feel like just in a rut. Like, I try to wake up, be optimistic and everything, but the day it beat me down. And I was just like, I remember I was thinking before this guy walked up to me when I was just walking home, I was thinking, this is the worst. This is like the worst, you know? And I was never thinking of like going back to Chicago or anything, but I was like, this is just the worst. And then I got punched in the nose and I sat down and I was like, this is worse. You really shouldn't tempt fate with superlatives. This is way worse. Because at the time, I didn't have that many of my uniforms, so if I bled on my uniform, I would just look freshly punched at work tomorrow. And I remember this big dude standing over me, right? And he's like, hey, are you okay? Are you all right? And I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna be fine. Oh, thank goodness you were here. And he was like, yeah, man, I just can't believe that. Like, I was just at the right place, the right time. I mean, honestly, I'm a little shooken up. That's never happened to me before. I've been able to, like, help somebody like that. And I was like, yes, thank goodness you were here. He would have been very upset. I only have $6. My man is towering over me. And he's just like, yeah, I've just never been in a situation where I could just help somebody out of nowhere. Because honestly, I haven't always made the best decisions in life. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, he about to rob me. I gave up the game too quickly, and he is Now realized he could be $6 richer. And he's just standing over me. He's like, it just feels like the universe put me here in this moment to help you, brought us together. Sometimes that happens. In fact, have you heard the good word of the god Oxnif? The god Oxnif of the planet Mars? And I was sitting there like, this is worse. Oh, this is way worse. And I just sat there for 10 minutes listening to this man's cult speech. It's like, if you could please just rob me. Because there's a lot going on in New York. There's a lot of crime. There's crime to the point that the governor saw fit to dispatch 1,000 National Guard to the subway to combat the crime, combat the violence and stuff. And as someone who lives in New York, I'm not gonna lie to you, I have not seen one of them this entire time. I feel like they went down to the subway, they looked around, they were like, forget this. I haven't seen a scratch of camo since I've been down there. Because I've been looking for them, too. Sometimes something will happen, I'm like, oh. Because, New York, we have a lot of crime, but we also got weird crime. We got some of the weirdest crimes you can imagine. A dude in the Bronx got robbed with a cowbell. And I know you're thinking, how? But look, it's metal. It hurts. And especially as a cowbell literally ringing while you getting hit, you must think like, where are these cows? You get your bell rung in the back of the head by a cowbell, you're like, where is it? Am I getting stumped out by cows right now? There was one dude that got a bunch of assault charges because he was throwing marbles in front of anybody that walked in front of him. And it's like, that is a genuinely hilarious crime. It's one of the funniest assaults you'll ever hear about. Because at first, when I first heard about it, I was like, these YouTubers are getting out of control, all right? Somebody needs to rein them in. It wasn't even that. This kid did not have a camera. He was just being the change he wanted to see in the world. He was out here throwing the bar, people, oh!